Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor Phillips, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Sports on Spreaker. You can also find this and all other episodes of Taylor's Detroit Sports on iHeartRadio. Straight and full Detroit and Michigan sports coverage 100% of the time. If you have any opinions on everything that's going on in the Detroit sports world, call in or send a text message live on the show at 231-429-3668. Also, you can add me on Facebook as Taylor Phillips, online at facebook.com/TaylorGatorPhillips14. Like my Facebook page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports page. Join my Facebook group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Group. And follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips with 2 L's.
And this is episode 128, live and recording for archive. Gonna recap the Pistons, Mavericks, Red Wings Flames. Also, I'm gonna preview the Michigan State Iowa matchup Thursday night in college basketball. But first, the Pistons have now won 7 in a row, and what impresses me more is the Pistons smashed the Mavericks 108-95 in Dallas at American Airlines Center. Man. Just how fantastic is that? Keith Langlois from Pistons.com writes, from Dallas, Pistons build a wall around Dallas, smash Mavericks to push win streak to 7. Turns out Dallas couldn't build a bleeping wall around DJ Augustine. Couldn't do much with Greg Monroe either. To paraphrase Dallas icon Jimmy Johnson, how about them Pistons? The 5 straight wins they took to Texas, the 6 straight wins they took to Texas did wonders for the collective bruise psych inflicted by a 5-23 start. A 5-24 start. This isn't accurate. But didn't do much to move the needle on the NBA's perception of the Pistons. The 2 wins they'll take back home from the Lone Star State stick everyone's attention in a vise. 7 wins straight, right after they waived Josh Smith before Christmas Day. And then after Christmas Day, 7 wins in a row. Dallas coach, former Piston head coach and current Dallas Mavericks coach Rick Carlisle said after the Pistons posted a wire-to-wire 108-95 win over his Mavericks, who also carried a 6-game winning streak into the game, quote, right now they're one of the best basketball teams in the NBA. Just with the way they're playing together and how hard and the kind of energy they're playing with, you've got to admire what they're doing, unquote. Hey Rick, they are the number 1 team right now. Well, I meant the best playing team right now. Their last 7 games, they've been ranked number 1 their last 7 games. They can beat anybody without Josh Smith. Anybody, even the Memphis Grizzlies, they can beat everybody. One night after Brandon Jennings' heroics capped an 18-point comeback win at San Antonio, punctuated by a defensive stand in which Van Gundy now famously implored his team to build a bleeping wall around the rim to seal a victory, it was his understudy, Augustine, who carried the mail down the stretch. With Dallas closing within 4 points in the fourth quarter and Augustine having been whistled for 2 quick fouls and a technical for arguing the second, things could have broken either way. Augustine made sure they broke the right way, breaking Dallas's resolve in the process. He dialed in consecutive three-pointers to push the lead to 10 and scored an astounding 17 points in the first 7 minutes and 20 seconds of the quarter. When Augustine downshifted, the lead was 13. He finished with 26 points, Monroe with an eye-popping 27 to go with it. Monroe with an eye-popping 27 to go with his 18 rebounds and 6 assists. There's a double-double for you. Augustine said, quote, "We don't have a one-man team. We've got guys that can contribute every night. It's going to be somebody different every night. We're playing together, we're having fun out there, and we're winning." Unquote. Justice Jennings said he would have happily deferred if Van Gundy had decided to finish the San Antonio win with Augustine at the point. So he and his fellow stars dissuaded Van Gundy from running them back into the game at Dallas. Monroe played the fourth quarter with a second unit that consisted of Jody Meeks, Jonas Jerebko, and Caron Butler in addition to Augustine. Van Gundy said, quote, "One of the things I really like tonight is we finished with an almost entirely different group than we finished with last night. At one point, like 4:40 to go, 4 minutes 40 seconds, I turned to my assistants on the bench and said, 'Do we want any subs?' And I had Brandon and Andre standing up going, 'Hell no. This group is rocking.' So that's what we've got right now, attitude-wise. It's different people every night, and nobody seems very concerned about it. They just want to try to win games," unquote. Monroe said, quote, "On any given night, it could be anyone. We're in it together. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as it gets done. That's how we're going about it. We just want to win at this point. It doesn't matter who it is. We just want to win," unquote. That's what I like to hear. Ten Pistons played at least 10 minutes and 4 bench players logged at least 22. If Monroe hadn't been so magnificent, the talk might have been Andre Drummond's 19 boards in just 30 minutes. If Augustine hadn't been so prolific off the bench, the decorated reserve might have been Jonas Jerebko, who in 20 minutes scored 6 points, grabbed 9 gritty rebounds, and added a pair of assists and steals, while also spending much of the game helping keep Dirk Nowitzki in check. Nowitzki finished with 19 points on 8 of 19 shooting. That's a pretty good job by the Pistons defense right there. Jerebko said, quote, "That's a strength of ours. We've got a lot of guys that can play basketball. Everybody can play on our team, and we've got different combinations, and it makes it hard for other teams to guard. First and foremost, we're having fun out there together, and we're sharing the ball, and we're making the easy play and playing good basketball," unquote. Good enough to keep a narrow lead for 48 minutes over a Dallas team bolstered by off-season acquisitions of Tyson Chandler and Chandler Parsons, and further fortified by last month's trade for Rajon Rondo. The Mavs came into the game not only with the same 6-game streak as the Pistons, winning-wise, but a superb overall record of 26-10, now 26-11. But after the last tie of the game came at 31 early in the second quarter, the Pistons led throughout, if never by double digits, until Augustine seized the moment when Nick Butchert whistled him for an offensive foul with J.J. Barrier riding his hip and then the technical. Augustine said about it, quote, "I just felt like it was a flop, felt like it was a bad call and let him know. He gave me a tech, so I just continued to play hard and be aggressive and everything worked out," unquote. It was fun, Monroe said, quote, "It was fun. Happy to see him get hot. That's the thing about this team. It doesn't matter who it is. Each night it could be somebody different. Tonight he just stepped up." Looking at all the rest of the stats, Brandon Jennings finished with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Andre Drummond scored only 6 points, picked up 19 rebounds. DJ Augustine with 26. Greg Monroe leading the scoring with 27, as the article mentioned. Nowitzki did, as usual, lead the Mavericks in scoring, but came up with just 19 points. 8 of 19 shooting. Just 5 rebounds, all defensively. Only 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 1 turnover. Rajon Rondo turned the ball over 7 times. Deion Harris with 14 points. Chandler Parsons with 15. Monte Ellis with 16. He was another hot hand. He had another hot hand. He also had a hot hand. Kimball with 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 3 turnovers. A -8. Rajon Rondo only scored 6 points. Tyson Chandler 9. Former Piston Charlie Villanueva only scored 6 points. He's still terrible. Only 1 assist, 1 rebound, 1 turnover. Pistons have off until Friday when they return back home to the Palace to play the Atlanta Hawks. They're ready for another tough task. After beating the Spurs and the Mavericks down south in Texas on the road, Pistons are pretty confident that they can beat the Atlanta Hawks. But they're not overconfident or cocky. They work as a team. They say they're not a one-man team. They say they're a group of guys that can get it done. But they do. The point is, they're in their next game, they're confident they can beat the Hawks from Atlanta at the Palace. That, of course, is on Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit and on Detroit Sports 105.1 WMGC-FM HD1 Royal Oak. Also on DetroitSports1051.com and on the Detroit Sports 105 and on the Detroit Sports 1051 mobile app and on TuneIn Radio on Detroit Sports 1051. The Red Wings held on to beat the Calgary Flames 3-2. From the Red Wings mobile app and DetroitRedWings.com. Headline: Advocator Zetterberg helped Red Wings defeat Flames. A net loss for the Calgary Flames resulted in a gain for the Red Wings. After Calgary starting goalie Kerry Ramo was forced from the game midway through the second period following a collision with a teammate, the Red Wings capitalized with 2 goals on their next 4 shots on their way to the Red Wings capitalized with 2 goals. The Red Wings capitalized with 2 goals on their next 4 shots against backup goalie Jonas Hiller, the former Anaheim Duck, on their way to a 3-2 win at Scotiabank Saddledome on Wednesday. Used to be called the Pengrowth Saddledome, now the Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary. Scotiabank is a national bank in the country known as Canada. North of the border, just below Alaska. Hockey's Canada's game, too. Are you getting that, Bill Simonson? You huge hog? The NHL headquarters are from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, not New York. Anyway, Riley Sheahan, Justin Abdelkader, and Henrik Zetterberg in his 800th career game scored for Detroit 22-10-9, which has 3 wins in its past 4 games and 5 in its past 7. Michael Backlund in his first game back after missing 29, and Mason Raymond scored for the Flames, who have lost back-to-back games, 21-17 and 3, after winning 4 straight. Calgary will conclude a 6-game homestand Friday against the Florida Panthers. Michael Backlund's goal was shorthanded. The Red Wings took advantage of Calgary's misfortune to break a 1-1 tie in the second. Ramo left the game at 10-11 of the second period because of an apparent injury after colliding with Flames defenseman Rafael Diaz when he left his crease to play the puck. Dominik Hasek style, Ryan Schuling told me. Thank you very much, buddy. He stopped 12 of 13 shots in his first start since being pulled after 4 goals on 13 shots in a 5-2 loss to the New York Rangers on December 16th. Jonas Hiller came on in relief. Detroit beat Hiller on its second shot against him when Advocator's cross slot pass skipped over the stick of Calgary defenseman Dennis Weidman and right to Zetterberg, who lifted his 10th goal over a sprawled Hiller to put the Red Wings up 2-1 with 2:32 remaining in the period. The Red Wings, who are 13-0-2 when leading after 2 periods, closed out the Flames in the third. With Flames forward Josh Juris called for hooking, Advocator hit the post on his initial attempt, but had time for another swipe to knock in his 11th goal, 2:03 into the third period, to extend the Red Wings' lead to 2. It came on the third shot against Hiller. The Flames pulled back within 1 with a shorthanded goal 3:10 later by Backlund. With Joe Colborne serving 2 minutes for hooking, Backlund took a pass from Paul Byron and slid a backhander under Detroit goaltender Peter Mrazek for his second of the season. It was Backlund's first game since October 28th. He had surgery to correct an abdominal strain in November. Calgary almost tied the game at 9:08 when Matt Stajan tipped TJ Brody's wrist shot from the point, but the puck hit the post, bounced off Mrazek's back, and trickled along the goal before going wide of the net. With Hiller pulled for an extra attacker, the Flames thought they had it tied with 1:20 remaining, but the goal was waved off immediately with Curtis Glencross in the crease and Mrazek knocking the mask off Mrazek, who made 28 saves to win it in his first start since December 23rd. Now, speaking of that first no-goal call right there, with Glencross and Mrazek mixing it up, messing around with Mrazek. I thought it was the right call. The referees got it right. The only thing that they missed was an elbowing that Glencross elbowed Mrazek, which probably isn't that big of a deal because the Flames still would not score and the Red Wings would hold on. There was another no-goal call in which, on a face-off Calgary won, the Flames just barely failed to hold the puck in, and the linesman caught it perfectly. They caught the puck crossing the blue line into the neutral zone, and they whistled it, and the Flames put the puck in the net anyway. And the referee whistled it off, and it easily waved it off. And then Flames fans threw water bottles onto the ice, and they were really booing the referees out of the building. But here's the thing, though. That, too, was another correct call. The linesmen and the referees did such an awesome job. Flames fans are so sore they sound like this.
Shut up, you idiot. What? Oh.
My God. Why don't you Flames fans shut up? You know what you are?
Crybaby! How long are you going to keep whining like a child? You're just a crybaby, a coward!
Flames fans are so sore. They're just annoyed by the referees who did a precise job. Oh my goodness. They got 2 no-goal calls correct. Curtis Glencross, first of all, made tons of contact with goaltender Peter Mrazek, who wasn't even initiating any contact whatsoever. And Glencross took off his mask, apparently by elbowing it off of Mrazek's head. The referees had to whistle the play dead before the puck went in the net, and the referees so easily had to call it no goal. The only thing they missed is that Glencross elbowed Mrazek and Glencross got away with a penalty, which still is not as big of a deal as Red Wing fans think, because the Red Wings again still held on to win the game. That was only little adversity that the Red Wings had to overcome. The Flames and their fans did not overcome any adversity whatsoever. A bunch of crybabies at Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Crybaby! How long are you going to keep whining like a child? You're just a crybaby, a coward!
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. To all you Flames whiners in Alberta, Canada, get a professional life. Move on. Your Flames lost fair and square. The referees and the linesmen know it. Red Wings fans know it. You know it all. You all know it as well, Flames fans. The NHL knows it as well. The Red Wings earned the win. Even though they had to hold on, they thought they should have got away with a 4-1 win. I understand that too. A win's still a win. So the Wings finished 2 of 3 at Western Canada. First off, they lose to Vancouver badly, 4-1. But they come back and beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-2 last night, and tonight they beat the Calgary Flames 3-2. They are off until Saturday night at 7 when they travel to Washington and play the Capitals. And Alexander Ovechkin, you got Braden Holtby, got Sean Green. I don't have a preview yet, but I will go to Capitals.com. The Capitals just beat the Maple Leafs in Toronto 6-2. Right after the Maple Leafs hired their interim head coach after firing Randy Carlyle, which still means nothing to Mike Babcock. Mike Babcock is staying in Detroit, and he will resign. He will re-sign with the Red Wings, I'm pretty sure. Mike Babcock is one of the best coaches, one of the best active coaches right now in today's world. Capitals also got Troy Brouwer, who got the game winner with under 13 seconds left in the Winter Classic in D.C. at Nationals Park against the Chicago Blackhawks. That was a heck of a Winter Classic game. Evgeny Kuznetsov, Eric Fair, Jason Chimera, Joel Ward, Mike Green, his name is Mike Green, not Sean Green, I stand corrected. Brooks Orpik, the former Pittsburgh Penguin, Matt Niskanen on defense, Nate Schmidt, Tom Wilson, Marcus Johansson, Andrei Burakovsky, Jay Beagle, Nicholas Backstrom. He's a goal-scoring machine. Right now he's got 12 goals, 27 assists, and a total of 39 points. He's got a hot handle. He's got a hot stick this season. Three of his goals game winners, one of them on the power play, none of them shorthanded. Has 2 career shorthanded goals. By the way, shorthanded goals are tough to score for anybody. Taking a look at how Ovechkin is doing. 20 goals, 15 assists, 35 points. 30 penalty minutes, 8 power play goals, 4 game-winning goals, 0 shorthanded this season. Wow. The Capitals have a dangerous offense. Brooks Orpik can check people hard on the back check. Keep an eye out for him on the blue line. Again, Red Wings and Capitals at 7 o'clock Saturday on Fox Sports Detroit and 97.1 The Ticket. WXYT FM HD1 in Southfield. Michigan State basketball is taking on Iowa. Spartans and Hawkeyes at 7 on Thursday. And that will be televised on ESPN at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City, Iowa. Last meeting last year, MSU defeated Iowa 86-76 on March 6th, 2014. That was sometime at the end of the season. Going over to Spartans basketball on mlive.com, mlive mobile app. Trying to find a preview of the Michigan State Iowa game. Well, the Spartans are 10-5. The Hawkeyes are 11-4. MSU is 1-1 on the road. The Hawkeyes are 9-1. At home. Both the Spartans and Hawkeyes are coming off wins. The Spartans have only won one in a row. The Hawkeyes have won 3 straight. The Spartans don't have a winning streak, but they're coming off a win. Also, tomorrow night at 7:30, the Oakland Golden Grizzlies visit the Cleveland State Vikings. Other college basketball scores: Eastern Michigan loses at home in overtime to Ball State. Cardinals beat the Eagles 60-59 in Ypsilanti. The night before, Akron beat Western Michigan in Akron, Ohio, 72-52. Finally, one last thing. Actually, a couple things, both Tigers related. From Detroit Tigers News on Facebook, per John Morosi, of interest on Scherzer's Shield, on the Scherzer Shields trade, Tigers official told Morosi that the Tigers are quote-unquote happy with their starting pitching and are not pursuing any starters, unquote, which basically means both are in play. Which also means, to me, that Scherzer is staying in Detroit and Shields is staying with the Royals. By the way, the Tigers pitchers and catchers report for spring training on February 19th. 44 days from now, make it 43 now. first full squad workout is February 24th. That was reported by Detroit Tigers News on Facebook. So, Scherzer is probably going to stay in Detroit anyway. Despite all the money controversy. The Tigers are, again, no longer pursuing starters. Their main focus is getting bullpen help. They got Tom Gorzolani and Alex Wilson, who seem to be pretty good. Gorzolani had a 0.86 ERA last year. Despite his slow sliders and fastballs, according to Pat Caputo, sliders were 73 miles an hour, fastballs were 86. Man, I can't